Hello and welcome to Mobile App Marketing video course. In this chapter, I'm going to show you how to create a Facebook ad for app installs. Now that we have discussed the basic preliminary steps of creating the app, and we want to now promote the app through paid advertising. Now, one of the best way to actually, if you're looking for paid advertising, you can actually come to Facebook and you can get people to download the app through Facebook advertising. Okay, now you need to have your Facebook account. Now when you go into your Facebook account, all you have to do is go to Ads Manager, or just type in facebook.com Ads Manager, and then it will take you to the into the page or the dashboard inside the tool where you can create the ad. Okay, now I'm already inside, as you can see, inside the tool, and the very first thing is to select the objective. Now our objective is app installs. Obviously I have selected that, and then I will then go, if I want to name my campaign name, I will just do app installs and just leave as it is and go and hit continue. Once I go inside, then I have to obviously we have selected the objective. Now we have to create an ad set, and then we have to create an ad. So these are the three parameters, or three areas where you need to set your ad in order to show the ad on Facebook for people to download your app. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go into the each section and show you what all you need to do. It will, once you have selected the objective app installs, it will ask you to have ad set name. You can have the name of the app. I'll just let's say I'm gonna say app install test. Okay, you can name of your own ad set name. It will then identify, once you have created the app and you may be creating multiple ads, then it will identify that it's the app which you have created for testing. Okay, app for Google Play. This is something that you need to, if you already have the link, and then you can just paste it here. By default, it will taking one of our app ID or the app link. If I select that, then it will automatically will take that link. Okay, if you haven't got that, you need to first of all have the link of your Google Play Store, if it is on Google Play Store, or if it is on any of these on iTunes, then you will have to have the link for iOS. Okay, catalog, you just leave it as it is optional. It is not required in app installs. Audience, yes, audience is required. Now audience, as I have mentioned in my earlier chapter, and we have discovered some of the locations, if you remember, those locations were where we found that on Google Trend. I'm going to put those cities just in this section, and then I'm going to just show my app only to those cities, because I know for my app, which is hypothetical example, is that if it is a chess app, I know that those are the locations which I need to target. Okay, you can just put the city name here, and then just select select all those cities one by one. Age group, obviously this age group will go from 18 to somewhere, because chess is something that is very, very wide. I'll just leave it like that. Men and women, all, I'll just leave it like that as well. Language, now in this I'm going to put English, but I'm going to put English all. Need to be a little tip here, that if I put English UK or English US, then people who have created the Facebook account choosing English UK or US, then it will be restricted only to those. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just English all. It will select both of them automatically. Detailed targeting. Now this is the section where we have to very carefully define our detailed targeting, and it's very, very easy in sense, if you know the trick, then it will become very, very powerful as well. Now in detailed targeting, there are some already you can browse it, and then it will show you demographic interest, and they have a very broad area of interest, as in business, industry, entertainment, food and drink, fitness and wellness, and things like that. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put, say, chess. Okay, so chess club. So that is an interest. Yes, that is my interest. I will select that. And then if I select on suggestions, then it will give me, it is going to give me all of those suggestions. So now Magnus Carlsen, we know he's the top chess player. I will select that. Even the people or the board games, chess, all of these I'm going to select and have in my list. Now, if you see all of these, if you look at this, now Magnus Carlsen have a Facebook page, which if I go in here and say description, people who have expressed an interest or like pages related to Magnus Carlsen, the ad will only be shown to those people. Now I know people who will like Magnus Carlsen page are the actual real chess lovers, okay, or the followers. My ad is going to show to those people where they are playing chess, so that it's become very, very targeted and very powerful. Okay, so that makes sense. Now there's a difference in suggestions in browse. Browse will give you a very overview of very wide network. But if you have some direct people, or you can just put on those names, and then you just select these parameters, then it's become very, very targeted and very, very powerful. Okay, connections, add a connection type. If you like, you can actually, people who have liked your page, if you're on your Facebook page, or exclude people who have liked your page. In apps, the same thing, exclude people who have used your app. Now, if I select this, and because they have already used my app, and they already know my app, then they obviously, my cost will go down, and it will not show to those people, because obviously they are not going to download. They have already downloaded it and they have already used it. Okay. In placement, I will just leave it as recommended, because that is how Facebook tool is set. Included devices, Android smartphones, Android tablets, yes, and OS versions. This is automatically, once you have selected for app installs, it will automatically will come up. Budget and schedule, you will put your budget here, the daily budget. If your budget is very low, and then if you're just starting off, you can put 100 rupees on a daily budget. I think that's a minimum budget you can put on Facebook. Schedule, you can have start and its end date. Run my ad continuously starting today. That's up to you. You can have a set date or a start date starting from whatever date, and then end on that date. Now, if you have a limited budget, you don't want to run it continuously, you will then have a set date and a start date. Let's say you have a budget of 2,000 rupees, then you can run it for 20 days and starting from here. Okay. App install, that is my objective. Yes. And conversion window is 1 day after the clicking. That means select the amount of time if typically it takes for someone to complete an app installation conversion after clicking or viewing ad, or you can have 1 day after clicking or viewing, any one of that. Okay. Bid strategy, lowest cost. Yes, it is my objective to have spend as much as lower cost for my download. When you get charged is impression. Now impression is in the for the app install, impression is that when they're scrolling on their timeline on Facebook app, as soon as they see your app, no clicking, that means it's not clicked, then you have 1,000 impressions. So what the cost of that impression will be 1,000 impressions. So once you have 1,000 impressions, then the cost of that impression, whatever it is, what Facebook will actually, once you have your ad live, it will tell you the impression cost somewhere, let's say about 5 rupees or 2 rupees or whatever it is. Then 1,000 impression will cost you that 5 rupees or 2 rupees. Okay, make sense? Now then all I have to do is then continue. That's all good. And then I'll move on to creating the third option, which is creating the ad. Now, the first thing is the identity. You have to connect your Facebook page. You will just go inside and then create the page. If you have the page, it will automatically will show you in the drop down, and your ad will also be shown on Instagram, and then you need to connect your Instagram page as well. Now, before, if you haven't created the pages, you need to create the Facebook page. In the previous chapter, those 8 ways of promoting, I have discussed that all these pages of social media needs to be created, and then you start posting, following people on Twitter, and then following groups on Facebook and the other social media accounts on Instagram and on Pinterest. And then those pages needs to be created before you create the ad. Okay, format, you can have a carousel. That means you will have scrollable images. You must have seen those images scroll on the right hand side. As soon as you scroll, you can have up to 10 images on the carousel. Single image, if you have only one, if you are promoting only one single image, then you can have a single image. Once you select that, either one of that, then you need to have, if you're selecting a carousel, multiple images, then you need to have all those images already with those size. Okay, now these size are actually being set by Facebook already. If I go down and then see, this is the text section, but wherever I have to place, and this is the image which I've already been taken from my library. I already have those images. But if you don't have the images, then you can go to this beautiful tool called canva.com, look for Facebook ad, or they are already Facebook images as an example here. And then you can take, let's say if I take this and then go inside the tool and make some changes to that image, select the image or whatever it is. And then once I select the image, let's say I select this one, and then I can make any changes and edit that. And then I can download or, download this image and then upload on Facebook. Okay. So all I have to do is I can just make it according to my domain. So you have to select the right image and then just, mobile app. And then you can just put some text at the bottom. Check out our latest app on photography, because that is what it is, the image is about. Okay, once you do that, you can share, you can download it. Once you download that, you will come back to your ad in here. I've already downloaded a dummy image, and once your dummy image comes in, it will show it right on the right hand side as a test preview. Okay, now you have to have your text. Now this has to be very targeted, and as soon as you type the text, download our latest chess app. And when you are typing this, you will see it is coming on the right hand side right here. So you can see the preview. And then you'll have to write the text about your app. Obviously, it can be the same what you have actually put it in your Google Play description. It can be similar one. And then you will just also put in the link right here so that people can actually see the link. Okay, so some people will straight away will click that link, and then they will be redirected to Google Play Store. And that is the idea, that if I'm putting it here, then I'm not, I'm saving time for people to just quickly click that link. Instead of they're going to click this install now, they may or may not do it. Okay, headline is something which you need to have a very targeted message. Okay, so it is coming right here. I'm just showing you the as an example, and it's coming right here, and it will have a targeted message. And then you'll have this button, install now. because that's what you are looking for. Deep link is an optional. You initially you don't need that. Multiple language, you already selected English. And then conversion tracking is a fixed Facebook pixel if you have one. Okay, once you have done that, you will just go ahead and confirm just right here, and it will take some time, maybe an hour or so, for Facebook to approve your ad. Once it is approved, then it will go live, and then all those audiences you have selected, it will start showing your ad for that budget you have selected in the budget section. Okay, so that's how you will increase your app install via Facebook ad. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Next one coming up, Google Ads. Stay tuned. Bye for now.